The Volksjäger was a promising little jet aircraft. One, however, was taken to England and tested by a British pilot. The experts who looked at the aircraft thought that it was interesting but not particularly well built, and he was advised not to do any rapid rolls. He did not do what he was told. Consequently, the tail fell off and he was killed. The 162 was designed, built and flown in only 3 months and built largely of wood. It was rushed into production before it had completed its flight testing and was to be flown by inexperienced pilots recruited from the Hitler Youth. Only one Luftwaffe unit flew the plane on operations, and it surrendered 4 days after its formation. But the 162 is credited with shooting down a number of Allied aircraft. Unfortunately, it could only stay in the air for 30 minutes. This was a plane for skilled pilots, not novices. It killed more Luftwaffe pilots than it ever did of the enemy. The Planes of Fame Museum at Chino in California has an interesting collection of other Axis types, including the Messerschmitt 163 Comet. Like the 162, the Comet was a potential death trap to fly. 2 spy planes from Lockheed's famous Skunk Works, the SR-71 Blackbird and the Lockheed U2. The SR-71 flies no more, but the venerable U2 is still very much alive and kicking. They had these 50 years ago. In fact, it was in a U2 that Francis Gary Powers was shot down over the Soviet Union in the 1960s. Look at that extraordinarily long wing, which incidentally doesn't go straight through the fuselage. So this isn't an easy aircraft to fly. In fact, if you open the throttle too much, you can drag the wings off. On the ground, there are some reminders of Edwards' role as the Air Force Flight Test Centre. Parked on the apron, a lineup of experimental aircraft, including an F-16 with a delta wing. Over the years, Edwards has become renowned for its hybrid and one-off prototype aircraft, and this fella is no exception. You take a look at it and say, well, what is it, an F-15 or an F-18? Well, actually, it's bits of both. The foreplanes at the front, those little wings at the front, is actually the entire tail section from an F-18. Some bits are.
When we started our journey to recover, restore and preserve a lot of old aviation documentaries for your enjoyment, we discovered there was a lot out there, and this is just one of them. So if you're enjoying this short video and you'd like to see the full film, jump on over to Historical Machines TV, that's www.historicalmachines.tv, sign up for a free 7-day trial, check out the catalogue and watch the full version of this great documentary.
There's only one place in the world where you can see a Vulcan in the air, but in Coventry you can at least get inside one. This is the star attraction of the Midland Air Museum. You come in from down here, and up here is the office. Almost a fighter-type cockpit here with fighter-type control columns. But as anybody will tell you who's seen the Vulcan in the air, it certainly could outperform a great many bigger, heavier aircraft. It had fighter-like performance. The Vulcan could carry a variety of conventional and nuclear weapons. Surprisingly, the bomb release mechanism is somewhat old-fashioned. How would you physically arm the bombs?
Well, they were already armed by the armourer. And then they had this lot here.
That panel,
yeah.
Instrument panel there?
Yeah, and this, you press that and they open the doors and drop the bombs.
It's a bit World War II, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, as I say, the people designing these aircraft worked in the 44, 45.
You got a soft spot for the Vulcan?
Yes.
You've seen it flying, the one in England?
Yes.
What do you think?
Makes the hair on the back of my neck stand on end.
Join us on our full advert-free streaming service at historicalmachines.tv, where you'll find lots more great footage just like this, all for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month.